Hello students, you are watching Biology by Dr. N.S. Jain. Today we are with a new topic and it is related to the plant anatomy. We are discussing the vascular tissue system. When we are discussing the vascular tissue system, we have to study two topics. One is known as the vascular bundle and another is known as the types of the vascular bundle. In this video, we will be discussing only about the vascular bundle, and when we will be having the information about the vascular bundle, we will be able to study the type of the vascular bundle. So just have a look on the vascular bundle. Now the question arises that what is a vascular bundle? A vascular bundle consists of three components. One is known as the xylem, another is known as the phloem, and the third one is known as the cambium. But it's not necessary that a vascular bundle will always be having the cambium. Cambium may be present in a vascular bundle or cambium may be absent in a vascular bundle. So we can say that the vascular bundle consists of three components: xylem, phloem and the cambium. And the origin of the vascular bundle occurs from the procambium. In the forthcoming section, we will be discussing about the procambium also. I have made two vascular bundles here. This is the phloem, this is the xylem. And in this vascular bundle, I have made the cambium. And in this vascular bundle, in between the phloem and xylem, I have not made the cambium. It means that few vascular bundles are having the cambium and few vascular bundles are not having the cambium. Okay. Now let's have a discussion on the xylem. Now very first classification of the xylem is based on the size and the time of the development of the xylem. Okay. So on this basis, on the basis of the size and on the basis of the time of the development, xylem can be divided into two categories: protoxylem and metaxylem. So let's have a look about what is the meaning of the proto and what is the meaning of the meta. Proto means first and meta means later. So protoxylem is always the first formed xylem and it is directly formed from the procambium. But metaxylem is the later formed xylem. What do you mean by later form xylem? Later form xylem means this xylem is developed after the development of the protoxylem. And the another difference is that smaller, these are the protoxylems are having the smaller elements of the primary xylem and they are having the larger sized elements of the primary xylem. Okay, so this is first form xylem and this is later form xylem. Now let's have a look on another classification of the primary xylem, but this time the classification is based on the position of the primary xylem in the vascular tissue. Based on the position of the primary xylem in the vascular tissue, the primary xylem is categorized into three categories. One is known as the endark condition, another is known as the exarch, and the third condition is known as the mesarch condition. Now what is endark condition? Endark means inside. You can see the diagram that here in this diagram the protoxylem is facing towards the center of the axis while the metaxylem is present towards the periphery, towards outwards. Okay, so we can say that here in the case of the endark condition, protoxylem elements are facing towards the center of the axis and metaxylem is developing towards the outside. And as we know very well that protoxylem is formed first and metaxylem is formed later. So I have made the arrows. You can see that here the course of the development is from center towards the periphery, and whenever the development occurs from center towards the periphery, this condition is called as the centrifugal development. And this endark condition is the special feature of all the stems. It doesn't matter that whether the stem is a dicot or a monocot stem. Now just reverse condition of the endark is the exarch condition. Here you can see that the protoxylem components are facing towards outwards, that is towards the periphery, while the metaxylem components are facing towards the center of the axis. And we can say that the course of the development is happening from the periphery towards the center, and whenever the development occurs from the periphery towards the center, then such type of the development is called as the centripetal development. And this exarch condition is the feature of all roots. Again the same thing, it doesn't matter that whether the root is a dicot root or a monocot root. And the third condition known as the mesarch condition, this is a rare condition and it is only found in the ferns. Here you can see that inside towards the center the protoxylem elements are present. Towards the center the protoxylem elements are present, and this one at this outside, the protoxylem is surrounded by what? The metaxylem. So here we can say that protoxylem is present towards the center and it's surrounded by the metaxylem. It is the feature of the ferns and it is a rare condition. So we can say, based on position of primary xylem in vascular bundle, the primary xylem is of three types: endarch, exarch and mesarch. So in a vascular bundle, as we know that there are three components: xylem, phloem and cambium. This was the explanation of the xylem. Now have a look on the phloem component. Okay, so the second component of the vascular bundle is the phloem. Okay, in a vascular bundle, as we know very well, say for this is the vascular bundle, then if here it is the xylem, then here what is present? The phloem. So the phloem is also categorized into two categories. One is known as the protophlloem and another is known as metaphlloem. Again the same thing, just like the protoxylem and the metaxylem, we can say that it is first formed phloem, and as soon as the protophlloem is formed, after the formation of the protophlloem, what is formed? Metaphlloem. So this is later formed phloem. Okay, and the chief difference between the protophlloem and the metaphlloem is that the protophlloem consists of narrow sieve tubes, while in the metaphlloem the sieve tubes are broader. They are little bit broader. Okay, so this is the difference between the protophlloem and the metaphlloem. But here the protophlloem and the metaphlloem are not so much well differentiated as the protoxylem and the metaxylem was differentiated. Okay, so this was the second component of the vascular bundle, which was known as what? The phloem. So we have discussed about the xylem and we have discussed about the phloem. Now the third component, which is very important component of the vascular bundle, and that is known as the cambium. The third component, cambium. Now cambium is a example of lateral meristem. Vascular cambium, in fact we will say vascular cambium. Vascular cambium is a lateral meristem. It is what? A lateral meristem, and this cambium is present in between vascular bundle, and it is divisible. It is meristematic in nature and it is divisible. Say for if this is the cambium, okay, so then what happens, that this cambium is divisible. It will divide here also, it will divide here also. Okay, it forms secondary phloem outside, and inside it forms secondary xylem. So towards the center, towards inside it forms the secondary xylem, and outside it forms the secondary phloem. So we can say that this cambium is divisible. So cambium is present in between the vascular bundle. Say for I have made a vascular bundle, this is what? Phloem, this is xylem, and this is what? The cambium. So cambium is present in between the vascular bundle and it is divisible. Okay, the next point is that cambium is single layered. Cambium is single layered. Basically cambium is single layered, but it seems to be multi-layered. But in actual, the cambium is always what? Single layered, and the cells of cambium are surrounded by thin cellulosic cell walls, and they are uninucleate. Okay, the cells are uninucleate and the cells of the cambium are surrounded by thin cellulosic cell walls, the layer of the cambium is single, it is single layered, but it seems to be multi-layered, it is divisible, it is meristematic, and the vascular bundle is a good example of what? The lateral meristem. Okay. Now, some more points about the cambium, that the cambium consists of two type of cells. The cambium consists of two type of cells. Okay, it consists of two type of cells. One are known as the ray initials, and the another cells of the cambium are called as what? The fusiform initials. Now, what is the role of the ray initial? So, what is the function? What is the function of the ray initial? That it forms parenchymatous secondary medullary rays. Secondary medullary rays. That's why it is called as what? Ray initial. Why the name is given ray initial? Because it forms the parenchymatous secondary medullary rays. What are medullary rays? Medullary rays are nothing, they are the pith rays, because as the pith is called as the medulla, likewise the pith rays are also called as what? Medullary rays. So it forms the secondary medullary rays, and the very chief function of the fusiform initial is that these cells of the cambium, these fusiform initial cells of the cambium forms secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Okay, at the time of the secondary growth, just note down, at the time of the secondary growth in plants, secondary xylem and secondary phloem are formed. So the secondary xylem and the secondary phloem is actually formed by the fusiform initial cells of the cambium. In fact, we will say these two cells are of what? Vascular cambium. A vascular cambium consists of two cells, ray initial and fusiform initial. They form the secondary medullary rays, and they form the secondary xylem and the secondary phloem at the time of what? The secondary growth. Okay, but secondary xylem and secondary phloem are formed at the time of the secondary growth, but initially in the plants, what happens? Primary growth occurs, and during the primary growth of the plants are having primary xylem as well as the primary phloem. And now the question arises that who forms the primary xylem and the primary phloem? Okay, who forms the primary xylem and primary phloem? So I am writing a note here that primary xylem and primary phloem are formed by procambium. Very important. Okay, now listen, vascular cambium forms secondary xylem and secondary phloem, while the primary xylem and the primary phloem are formed by what? The procambium. Okay, now have a look here, very important point, that in two category of plants, one are known as the pteridophytes and another are known as the monocots. In pteridophytes and monocots, the procambium is fully utilized in formation of primary tissues. Okay, in pteridophytes and monocots, the procambium is fully utilized in the formation of the primary tissues, and no meristematic cells are left in between the xylem and phloem. No meristematic cells are left in between the xylem and the phloem, and because of this no secondary growth occur in these plants. Very important point I am Again, I am repeating, in pteridophytes and monocots, there are two categories of plants. One are known as the pteridophytes and the monocots. The procambium is fully utilized. The procambium is fully utilized in the formation of the primary tissues, and no meristematic cells are left in between the xylem and the phloem, and because of this no secondary growth occur in this plant. You can see that in pteridophytes and monocots only primary growth occur and no secondary growth occur. But what happens in the gymnosperms? In gymnosperms and dicots, what happens? The procambium is not fully utilized, and some meristematic cells are retained in vascular bundle, and they form, very very important, intrafascicular cambium. They form intrafascicular cambium, which is very important, for the secondary growth. Again, I am repeating, in gymnosperms and dicots, the procambium is not fully utilized during the development of the primary tissues. At least some meristematic cells are retained in the vascular bundle, and these meristematic cells form intrafascicular cambium, and this intrafascicular cambium is very very important for the secondary growth in the dicots. Because of this secondary growth occur in these plants. Secondary growth is the feature of the gymnosperms and the dicot category of the plants. Okay, now because just now we have discussed about what? The intrafascicular cambium. So where is intrafascicular cambium? I will be locating this with the help of the diagram also. You can see here. Say for, if this is the steel, you know very well that vascular bundles are present in the steel. Say for, I have made these vascular bundles. Okay, these are vascular bundles. Now what happens? Here is the pith. Okay, here is the pith at the center, and these are the vascular bundles. Now a cambium which is present in the vascular bundle, this cambium is called as what? Intrafascicular cambium. What is intrafascicular cambium? Found inside vascular bundle. Okay, now what is this? Phloem, xylem. These all are phloem and xylem. Okay, now this is what? Primary phloem, and this is primary xylem. As we know very well that primary phloem and primary xylem are formed during the primary growth in the plants by the procambium. But what happens that in between in the vascular bundle, what is present? Intrafascicular cambium is present. Okay, when this intrafascicular cambium will divide, so outside it will be forming the secondary phloem, and inside it will be forming what? The secondary xylem. Also we know very well here what are present? Pith rays are present. In between the vascular bundles, what are present? Pith rays are present, and these pith rays are meristematic. So what happens? These meristematic, or we can say that these parenchymatous pith rays forms what? Another cambium in between, the vascular bundles. This is a cambium which is present in between the vascular bundles. Okay, and this is actually known as what? The interfascicular cambium. Interfascicular cambium is present between two vascular bundle. Okay, so this is interfascicular cambium and this is intrafascicular cambium, and later on both this interfascicular cambium and intrafascicular cambium fuse together and they are responsible for the secondary growth. Outside they will form the secondary phloem and inside they will be forming what? The secondary xylem. So you must be knowing also information when we are discussing about the cambium. We must know about the interfascicular cambium and the intrafascicular cambium. Intrafascicular cambium is found inside the vascular bundle while interfascicular cambium is present in between the two vascular bundle. Okay, now based on the presence or the absence of the cambium, based on presence or absence of cambium, we can say that cambium, or we can say that vascular bundles, this classification is based on presence or absence of cambium. So based on this, vascular bundles are of two types. One is known as the open vascular bundle and the another one is known as closed vascular bundle. Okay, now what is the chief difference? A open vascular bundle is a bundle in which cambium is present. Cambium present. Okay, I have made this vascular bundle, this is phloem, this is xylem, and I have made the cambium. If cambium is present in between the vascular bundle, then such a vascular bundle is called as open vascular bundle, and here in a closed vascular bundle cambium is absent. Okay, if cambium is absent, then such a vascular bundle will be called as what? The closed vascular bundle. Here is the phloem, here is the xylem, but you can see here that I have not made the cambium. So this is closed vascular bundle and this is open vascular bundle. Now where are open vascular bundles present? Open vascular bundle are the feature of dichots, and closed vascular bundles are the feature of monocots. Okay, as we know very well that whenever the cambium is present, it is responsible for the secondary growth. So as we know that cambium is present in the dichots, so what happens? Because of cambium, because of presence of cambium, what happens? Secondary growth occur in dichots. But as we know that here the cambium is absent, so secondary growth is absent in monocots. Okay, so we have discussed 3 points. When we were talking about the vascular bundle, we have said that the vascular bundle consists of xylem, phloem and the cambium. So we have discussed all the points about, we have discussed about the xylem and the phloem and the cambium, which is responsible for the secondary growth in the plants. So this was the description of the vascular bundle. Okay, in my next video you will be able to see the types of the vascular bundle. Okay, so keep watching, and if you have liked this video, subscribe my channel, also like, share and comment. Thanks a lot.